What up, guys? Another episode of We Don't Know Ball, brought to you by free throw attempts, because Austin Reeves is a fucking free throw merchant. But what's up, guys? It's another episode with Justin, myself, and Retro. Talking NBA today. Got my city jersey of Derrick Rose. Shout out to Derrick Rose. Everybody remembers that 50 ball that he had with the Minnesota Timberwolves. His great performance by him. Before we get in this slate of talking points today, how you guys feeling? What's new with you guys this week?
I'm feeling great. It's good to be back. I'm really just interested to see what narratives are going to be pushed this episode because I really have no idea what to expect. So I'm very interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good week. I mean, the NBA slate this week was like meh to me. I mean, it really was. There's a lot of big stories to talk about, whether we talk about LeBron going through his first full practice and finally working his way back to the lineup, how that's going to hinder your said free throw merchant. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really got much about it. I mean, it is what it is. NBA is gonna turn into the NFL real soon, and with all these injuries that are happening, and that's kind of what I want to just get into early. And like I said, there's people that are saying that the NFL season's just kind of mad because of how many people got hurt, and I think we're starting to reach that point with the NBA, and we're only a month into the season. I mean, the first one, and I think it's not the biggest player, but to me, it's by far the biggest injury that's happened in the league. And I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Nikola Topic was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And it's not so much that it's an injury, but it's definitely an illness, a disease, a diagnosis. So basically, all I want to do with that one is say thoughts and prayers to him and his family at this time. Hope that he comes out fully healthy and fully healed on the other side of this. I mean, cancer's a hell of a thing that affects a lot more families and a lot more people in the world than we really know. So just thoughts and prayers to him on that. As far as actual injuries go, I mean, we've already seen two season enders in this early season. We got Bradley Beal having his season-ending hip surgery. We had Walker Kessler having season-ending shoulder surgery. So hope surgeries with them go smooth and that they can get back as fast as possible. As much as I don't like Bradley Beal, and that's Suns bias on my end, you never want to see anybody have something like that, especially when his career's already been shortened in certain ways beforehand, that he finally gets a fresh start and he finally gets to go do something different, and shit happens to him. So, on my end, as the Suns fan, Jalen Green's out another 2 months with a hamstring injury. He won't be reevaluated for another 6 to 8 weeks. Same thing with Christian Braun, out 6 to 8 weeks until he's going to have another evaluation. Aaron Naismith to miss a month with a knee sprain, won't be evaluated for 3 to 5 weeks. Anthony Davis out with another calf injury, won't be reevaluated for 3 to 5 weeks. And then I guess the big two are John Wemby, both out with calf strains, also won't be evaluated for 6 to 8 weeks. So, I mean, this injury bug in professional sports right now, I mean, it just, nobody's dodging anything. And there's so many other miscellaneous ones, like Atlanta has 3 starters out day to day right now with nagging injuries. It's, if you look at it, it's just almost kind of comical to see how many day to days to month injuries we're seeing, and it's been a month of basketball.
Yeah. No, I think it's with the strain of how basketball is being played, with the freelance of everything and the freedom of movement and how much emphasis we're putting onto creating your shot, being effective in ISO situations, being effective efficiently, and all this kind of stuff. You have to be efficient. You have to be efficient. Analytical ball. And it's creating these unfortunate mishaps, specifically in the calves, that go to the ACL, that we see Tyrese go down, Tatum go down. Unfortunately, Kobe White, who just came back but is now out of the lineup tonight. Just continue with people with Achilles, ACLs, to where now we're playing such a brand of basketball to where I think before they weren't necessarily predicated on that. They're predicated on playing sets and running plays and that kind of stuff. Now, granted, I think basketball has evolutionized because talent has gotten better and freedom of movement and that kind of stuff. Like I said, this, that, and the other. But it's unfortunate that these stars and these rising players, these all-star caliber players, are not being able to play because of the emphasis of their bodies. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I think is crazy with it is I looked at it and it was as of 3 o'clock today. 117 active players are injured, or whether it's day to day, haven't played a minute on the floor this year. 117 players.
Yeah, I mean it's absurd. I think also, and I'm not going to harp on this, but Justin, you mentioned it as well that it's across both sports, and it sucks because in the NBA, there's not really much that you can do to kind of limit these injuries. It's just kind of a thing that comes with it. But in the NFL, all the owners need to collectively agree to switch their fields to grass. We should not be playing on turf anymore. There is literally a saying, the turf monster getting people, because it is not a safe thing to play on. Owners should switch to grass. That is what should be done. And if you did, you would see a large decrease in a lot of the injuries there. But in the NBA, it's just kind of hard to limit them, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, like in my personal life, so like this weekend I played in an indoor softball tournament. That's what I do for fun. I do that. And they play on old football and old soccer fields that are packed in turf. And the amount of injuries that happen, they run a tournament every month, but the amount of injuries that happen in these things every year, people lose their knees, lose their MCLs, ACLs, everything, ankles. It's even for like average Joes that just fuck around and do that or whatever, it's just not safe for anybody to play on it. There's not enough grip, there's not enough traction, there's not enough anything. There's no give. Plus, I mean, it's 3 to 5 inches of turf, so like it's concrete underneath. It's not safe for these guys, especially when they're going hard against like linemen of all people. They play with those badass fucking braces on all the time for that simple fact because they don't want to take that chance, and sometimes they still buckle. So, like I said, I don't even think it's an ownership front anymore. I think it's got to be the NFL as a front office, the NFL itself, not just the teams. They have to be like, holy shit, this is bad for revenue. This is bad for the sport. Like, why would we do this? So I would completely agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I played a lot of football as a defensive lineman, and I sprained my right ankle 3 different times on turf. I had to wear a brace for it because of how dangerous it was. I just think turf is just such a bad idea.
It makes it. I'll be the first one to say I understand why it happens. It does look a lot better. It doesn't feel a lot better, but it looks a lot better. It's more eye candy, like more appeasing or whatever. And the game is a little bit faster on the turf. I do get that, but at some point you got to understand that, like you said, these owners have to band together. At the end of the day, these guys aren't just players for them; they're investments. Like those are dollar signs you're watching that you're just not gonna make up. So. Yeah, there's got to be a change. I mean, it's just it's idiotic that we are still arguing this point. I mean, we went back and we've seen in the last 10 years countless players lose out on parts of their career. We've seen linemen to superstars to everything under the sun. I mean, Retro, I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but your stadium just needs to be blown off the face of the earth. So.
It does. Yes, it does.
But we are in a basketball podcast, so let's try and stay on that, I guess. But the first thing I really want to talk about is, and this is kind of something I didn't really want to bring up, but I feel like it's just necessarily brought up. Jules.
No.
Why does Steph Curry hate your franchise so much?
I don't know, dog. Scoring 97 points through 2 games is
42, 2, 4, and 2 on 61, 52, and 100, and 46, 5, 5, and 2 on 52, 31, 94.
He hates us. Yeah, I don't know what we did to him.
He looked like prime Curry, and it wasn't even the funny part of it is in one of these games, he only shoots like 15 threes, and he's out there making fucking running hook shots. He's floating it over Wemby. He's taking it inside, outside. He's 50 mid-range jumper off the glass from 15. it felt like this motherfucker couldn't miss. I have the
No.
stats here, and yeah, he missed half the shots he took, but at the same time, watching the games, it felt like he couldn't miss.
Yeah, no, I agree. And what is somewhat concerning is the fact that we're still a top 5 defense, but we're basically having to deal with these type of players that have this, heliocentric deal with them, and we're not being able to stop them. Fucking Austin Reeves when Luka's went down. When we play the Lakers again, Luka's gonna have a good game. So Mitch hasn't done a good job in scheming against a hyper offensive player. And when it comes to where I believe we'll make the playoffs in a playoff setting, when push comes to shove and you have to defensively scheme around these guys, up to this point, it's a finite amount of games. I understand that. He has not proved to me that he's being able to do that. On the other side of things as well, we had the opportunity to win one of those games. De'Aaron Fox, I'm looking right at you. Taking that shot and people trying to explain to me, well, that's his shot. He made that in 2023. Yes, I understand that. You're not taking a step back mid-range shot to the left when you have Victor Wembanyama wide open underneath the rim. You have Devin Vassell wide open next to you, and you have Castle running in on the pick and roll attempt, and he's wide open. You had 3 reads there, and you decide to shoot the shot.
To defend that one, I think on the last possession, I don't think they were as open as you think they were. I think it was the one before that. He did try that same shot 3 possessions in a row and clanked all 3 of them at the end of the game down the line. But the last one, I mean, it was a bad pass to him, so he had to make something go fast. And heat of the moment as a player, you don't know how much time is really on that clock. He's trying to just go and get it done. Nobody's open. He just took the best shot for him, and yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't go in that one, and that was a little bit closer in my game. That was a 1-point game, 109, 108, or something like that. But my question to you then is, will the Spurs struggle against this kind of spacing down the line? Because it's not just Curry going for 46. What happens when teams start to fully space them out? And it's like Wemby, I mean, yes, Curry knows how to do this better than anybody because he attacked Wembanyama, which I thought was insane. I mean, he attacked him and scored, and Wemby pinned Jimmy shit off the backboard like he was a child. So, I just want to know what your thoughts on is if teams start to I wouldn't call it the pace and space because I don't really think Golden State was really running them down. They just got set up and they were off-ball screen after off-ball screen. So, do you think that Spurs, because I think you guys weren't really missing any key pieces in that game. Maybe if you want to say Kelly Olynyk as a backup center, but I just want to know if you think that with your top 5 defense, do you think that them not being able to run through these screens and switch off as well is going to expose them down the line? Or do you think that this is something they can correct and can fix and hopefully tighten it up?
They will be able to correct it, but it won't be within this year. Taking those having those set execution plays with screen navigating and all this kind of stuff, that takes time as a team to mold. We saw it with OKC the past several years, and now their historic defense. They have a whole bunch of defensive communicators on that team. San Antonio has a couple that are up and coming that are younger than OKC, so they have to live and learn. My concern specifically with that is what you brought up. Steph Curry taking Victor out of the paint and mismatch hunting him, because there's been graphics that have come out, the best rim deterrence underneath the rim. The best by and far large up to this point has been Rudy Gobert. And we all know Rudy Gobert is a defensive powerhouse. We all know his effect on the defensive side of the ball. But Victor's either 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th in rim deterrence this year. And why that is because these guards, and why Mitch Johnson's asking Wemby to come out on the 3-point line, which he's able to do rather effectively. We saw that game, one of the 2 games, Wemby was running around these screens on Steph on one of these possessions. He's doing a good job. But that's inherently affecting your defense, because when Wemby is out and you have Jeremy Sohan within the paint, everybody's going to be like, okay, Wemby's out on the 3-point line, go attack. go where Wemby isn't. So that's why his rim deterrence hasn't been looked impactful this year, because everybody's playing switch basketball, and when Wemby's out on the perimeter, you attack. If he's in the interior, we saw teams throughout the first 3 or 4 games. Wemby's underneath there, yeah, no, let's swing it to the corner. We're not taking that shot because Wemby's going to block our shit. So it's just wherever Wemby isn't, they're attacking, and that's where now that he got hurt, we're gonna have to ask Bismack Biyombo, Kelly Olynyk, and Luke Cornett to do stuff that they're not capable of doing, and it's going to be concerning. It's going to be real concerning. So the short answer is no. I don't think that we'll be able to maintain, but it'll be a learning process with the amount of injuries that we have.
And you kind of just touched on it. I want to just lean into it. My last question on the situation is, what is the Spurs' identity for a month without Wembanyama?
Runs that shit through De'Aaron Fox. So that would lead into my question that I want to ask a little bit later after I answer this. But with set situation now, Wemby being hurt, Harper being hurt, Castle being day to day, everybody was making these comparisons that Fox and Wemby aren't going to mesh well, and there's only been a very limited time over the past almost not even full year that they've been together, and there's been value between them. You can see it in the numbers, you can see it how they play. But my question is, out of the guard situation, as of right now, I made a video on it. Who's going to be the answer? Is it going to be Fox? Is it going to be Castle? Or is it going to be Harper? And I think that's the most intriguing question in basketball, because Harper and Wemby, when they were together, they were a young, dynamic duo, being very fierce. Harper's being able to get downhill and get to the rim, while Wemby's shooting effective threes and even in the mid post. Castle's utilized as a point guard, using him as a lob threat, and keeping him inside. Fox is making him a 3-point shooter, which he can do, but it's not going to be sustainable. But he makes him better as an offensive rebounder and as a assist man, because Fox is so aggressive. So it's what you value. So
Well,
I guess my question is for you guys, which one of the three would be forward?
I do have an answer for that, and I don't think, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think this month is going to come down to the guard play. I really don't. I think they all do different. They all do something differently finite with Wemby. I think the player that you guys are going to have to lean on, and you're also going to expect more of, is going to be Vassell down this line. I think it's going to be Vassell. Listen, I get it, but you were high on him to start, and I think this is going to be the guy who's going to have to step up and actually engage his role in this month to actually show, hey, we have a Victor, but I can be a second, third option on this team. And I think that's honestly where he has to align right now, because we've seen Fox do it all in Sacramento. Yeah. He had the pieces around him to play a ball dominant full, I'm the scoring guard, I can drop 37 on a couple nights in a week, maybe if I need to. He can do these things. He can go off for these teams. Now he has guard support around him, and he's not used to having it. So I think that with this team, I think the pace and space is going to actually have to ramp up more, because I think they're going to have to go and outrun teams. I really do. I think that Vassell's going to have to be more of a catch-and-shoot player, and he's going to have to knock down more because he's going to be asked to do more without Wemby there. Harper's going to be in the same spot. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting month to see if you guys can sustain and, I guess, weather the storm. And maybe, just maybe, you guys get lucky and Wemby's not gone a whole month. Maybe it's 2.5, 3 weeks. Maybe it's not as bad as they want. But the biggest thing would be, do they rush him back if shit goes wrong, and do they put him at risk for that? Or do they just, hey, we're okay, we don't need to do this, we need to protect our investment? We just talked about how investments are in this league, so it's going to be on the Spurs to figure it out, and hopefully they do play well so they don't get put in a position to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jules, just to answer your 3 guards thing that you have going on. The way that I see it is that Harper should constantly be in the lineup. I would put him in as a shooting guard, and I would keep Harper in the lineup constantly. That's where I would place him. As for the other two guards, Castle and Fox, the way that I see it is your lineup. So I don't think Vassell should be starting. That's one of my problems. I don't think he should be in the starting lineup. The way that I would put it is, right now, I would take Fox over Castle just because Fox is the veteran presence. I think I prefer that, especially given that you guys are going to make a playoff run. I think it's important to have vets there that can help stabilize the team, and Wemby is better when Fox is in. I think, obviously, you've got Castle and Wemby, you have that whole combo, and it's great, but I think I prefer Fox because of the veteran presence for now. So what I would do is, you keep Fox in this year, maybe next year. You let Castle continue to grow. Eventually, you trade Fox and you let him go and you let Castle become that guy. But what I would want right now is I would want Fox and Harper. That would be my ideal. And I would probably have Stephon Castle coming off the bench. I don't think Vassell needs to be starting either. That's just my opinion. I don't think that he adds that much. I know you're not big on Vassell, Jules, either. I don't know. I really don't think that he needs to be starting. I feel like Harper would do just fine in a shooting guard role. So that's kind of how I would solve that 3-guard dilemma. Is I would keep De'Aaron Fox for the vet presence, put Dylan Harper at shooting guard, and then let Stephon Castle develop for a couple of years, and then let him take Fox's place. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think my initial feeling quickly is start Fox and once Harper comes back, see the value with him and Fox next to each other, and see the value between Fox and Castle next to each other because of the usage rate and how they create stuff and that kind of stuff. As for the Devin Vassell situation, and Retro pointed out, I'm not a big Devin Vassell fan. What I'm seeing him, what I will give credit to establish this, he's been a elite pull-up mid-range shooter and half-court settings. All he does is take these 15-foot like fading mid-range shots from the strong side wing on certain situations, and he's shooting like 53% from those shots alone. So he brings good mid-range value. I want Julian Champagnie to be that guy for me, and he has stepped into his own, being a high volume 3-point shooter for our team, a catch and shoot guy. And funny enough, so is Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes just had another 20-point per game night, a 20 game night on good 3-point volume. An elite catch and shoot guy this year. I think he's been top 5 in catch and shoot opportunities and percentage. So shout out to him. To go back to the front court situation, specifically at the center, Luke Cornett, you better show how we gave you $28 million a year. You better we are going to have to lean on you heavy, because you're going to have to space out the floor. You're going to have to block shots. You're going to have to be a plus rim deterrent, all this kind of stuff, to where if you're giving me 10 and 10, that's cool, but you're going to have to do something. That's going to be my biggest question mark. Luke Cornett, Bismack Biyombo, and Kelly Olynyk. What is that center lineup going to look like without Wemby being there? That's going to be the biggest, scariest thing.
And there was only 2 things that I wanted to touch on there. The Champagnie thing, I wanted to say that too. So my ideal starting lineup right now, I would want De'Aaron Fox at the 1, I would want Harper at the 2, I would want Champagnie at the 3, I would want Harrison Barnes where he's already at playing the 4, and then Wemby at the 5. You don't need Vassell in that lineup. He's not a requirement. And I think that's like the important thing. I think Champagnie can step up. I think he can be that guy. I don't really have that much of a doubt about that. And like you said, he can knock down threes, most definitely. And that's something that you want. You always want guys that can space out the floor. So that's what I would do as far as that is concerned. But I also wanted to bring this up too, because I think that it is an important thing to understand. I know that a lot of people talk about the Curry and Magic and which one is better, which one is worse, whatever. Curry's longevity is absurd. The fact that Curry is able to do this year after year, despite getting older and older, I think it kind of draws attention to the fact that Curry is a very special player and that his game is almost timeless. And what I mean by that is he's a pure shooter. That is what Curry does. He can shoot from anywhere, and he's mastered it better than anybody else. And the nice thing about his game is that you see guys like LeBron and Jordan who are amazing slashers, but as they get older, it's harder and harder to slash because, you have aching joints and you can't jump as high as you used to, all that kind of stuff. But with Curry, all he has to do is just maintain his shooting form. And as long as he maintains that shooting form, he's just going to continue to be dominant. And I think that if Curry makes a deep run with this team in the playoffs, even if it's just like a Western Conference Finals, there are going to have to be some very interesting conversations to be had. And I think what he's doing is extremely impressive.
I mean, he did have to play with a chip on his shoulder after that news about 6ix9ine came out, but that's just me. So, yeah. All right, well, question marks. Let's move from one of your favorite teams to the other person's favorite team. Retro, you remember when I said last week that you should really stop talking about your own teams because as soon as you give them too much credit, they let you down. Since our last podcast, you guys are on a 5-game skid.
Yeah, man, I'm not worried. We didn't have Kobe White. We didn't have Josh Giddey. Didn't have our 2 guards. They came back last night, which, we almost won, but, Markkanen put up a 50 bomb. You can't really predict that. But our schedule, it's been rough. But, I mean, outside of that, I'm not super worried about this team. Obviously, tonight we don't have Kobe White, but we're currently up by 16 on the Nuggets. I don't have, a huge worry when it comes to this team. I think we can still compete with the best teams on any given night. I think it'd be better if we were healthy. But I do think that now that Josh Giddey is back in the rotation, and like I said, we're already seeing that tonight, things are already getting better. Whenever Giddey is in, this team elevates very highly. So I'm not worried.
I'm going to address the elephant in the room of why you're up 16 right now.
I don't know why you think, but I don't know. What are you implying with that?
Isn't there a certain superstar who's out tonight with a wrist injury on the other side of the floor?
I don't know who you could be referring to. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
That's disgusting.
Let's be consistent.
I'll tell you what, there is a certain superstar right now named Nikola Jokic who's 1 of 7 from the field right now. So
yeah, because up until game time he was scratched to not play with a wrist injury.
Well, everybody has injuries. We have injuries. We still have injuries. Kobe White isn't playing tonight, as Jules said, but
I want to know how you let Lauri Markkanen and Keontae Jones drop a combined 90 points on you. That's
because Lauri Markkanen is him, and he's been him all year. He's averaging 30. And then Keontae George is actually really underrated, I think. I actually think he's a really good guard.
We're probably gonna be the only podcast to glaze the Jazz every week.
Dude, I'm telling you, that team is actually good. When they put it all together, they're actually good. I swear.
I agree, and I've been we talked about this last week. You talking about weekly Jazz glaze.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, do they hold on to Lauri Markkanen? I would say no. I personally think that they should get rid of him and get him at his max value because I've been talking about it off screen a lot. Danny Ainge is a fucking shyster. He can get anything. He can get anything for anybody that he helped the Celtics get, Brown and Tatum and those accumulation of picks. He's basically, if he gets rid of Lauri, he can get how many first-round picks for Lauri Markkanen?
If you don't draft well, that's a problem. But then let's say you trade those picks. Who are you going out and getting? Who's the? Because Lauri, I think, is a fine piece to build your team around. What you're saying is you think there's a better piece. So my question is, who are you going out and getting?
No, he's not saying there's a better piece. He's saying that you can't let Lauri devalue himself. He's
But I think the thing is, I think he's so good that you build around him, and once he eventually devalues, it's the same thing, right? You Jules, you guys are gonna keep Wemby until the wheels fall off. The Grizzlies will probably keep Ja until the wheels fall off. The Timberwolves will definitely keep AE until the wheels fall off. So for me, it's there are players where it's you're so good, why would we even bother trading you? And the only way you would do it for me is if there's a better piece that you think you can get.
Well, just brought up them keeping Ja, and one of my buddies, Chase, he's actually one of our few loyal viewers. He watches both of our shows every week, and he really enjoys it. He wants to come on one of these at one point.
Hey, shout out to him, man. We appreciate you.
He brought it up to me, and he said that his quote-unquote hot take right now, and I don't think it's that hot, I'm pretty sure it's lukewarm, is that Zion, Ja, and LaMelo won't be in their homes by next season. And I said I can see 2 of 3 not being in their homes, maybe not.
Yeah.
And honestly, the one I see staying put, and crazy as it sounds, I think it's Melo.
Yeah, I agree. LaMelo's the one. Because if you're the Hornets, bro, the Hornets never, ever, 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 ever draft good players or get good players. The Hornets are terrible.
But that's the thing is, I brought it up and I told him my reasoning behind it is because if they trade LaMelo, if they do this again, if they go and trade whoever their biggest asset is, whether it was when Kemba didn't come back and he was whatever, this, that, and the other. If they do this, they're accepting that they will forever be a mediocre franchise.
Right. Yeah.
They have to make it work with him. I just saw that Brandon Miller just got recalled from their G League team. So hopefully they can find the right scheme and the right 9 guys to actually put a competitive team on the floor. Do I think they're going to? Probably not. Do I think that they should move on from LaMelo? Probably. I mean, it's not a great situation they're in. I mean, you can't trade him because then you accept mediocrity. Yet with him, you're still 4-9. So it's like, what do you do? It's a tough thing. Ja needs to be rehomed worse than any player in the NBA.
I agree.
Zion is just, I don't know what it is. There's nights where he looks like, damn, he could be fucking great. He could be the future. And then there's nights where this man doesn't even deserve a spot on the roster. So it's
and see, that's the thing. This is the biggest problem. The issue is with Zion. There's so much potential there, and when he plays, he's dominant. So, but the question is, since he never plays, even if you're like, you know what, he does need a new home. We need to trade him. What can you get for Zion? Because what team is going to go out on a limb and be like, you know, this guy, he is really good, but he just never is healthy. So how do we know that we're going to get anything good out of this? And I guarantee you the asking price is going to be at least a first-round pick because Zion, when he's playing, is incredible. So my thing is there a team that's willing to kind of go out on a limb and be like, yeah, screw it, like, yeah, we'll take that bait, or is every other team just going to be kind of scared?
I'd be scared. I think that's the reason that. I'll be honest, I think that's the reason why the 76ers haven't moved on from Embiid. Nobody's going to take his contract. Nobody knows what he's worth. Nobody knows what to do. So it's like, it's the same kind of boat. I think Embiid's a hell of a better player than Zion is by a country mile. But at the same time, if you're never healthy and you're only on the floor for 25 games out of an 82-game season, you're not worth the money. And it's like, now we have to find a way to restructure your contract, or we have to take a loss in the value to get rid of you. And that's basically what it's going to be at this point. I think they're going to have to take a loss in value. I think he's going to be worth 2 seconds and a third. I don't think anybody gives up a first for him. I'm going to be honest. It's just,
and that's my thing. So then, if you're the Pelicans, I think for me, like, if you're the Pelicans, and that's what you hear, a bunch of teams are like, "Yeah, listen, we'll give up some seconds. You know, we'll do that." It's like, okay, well, is it worth it? A couple seconds to get him off? Because what if he does eventually get healthy? Then we're giving up a guy that can put up 25, 28 a game. So it's like, if you're the Pelicans, you're really in between a rock and a hard place. Do we take second-round picks on the risk that, like, he's not going to get healthy, but then if he does get healthy with someone else, now we just look stupid. So it's like, man, like, you're in such a rough position, and you have no leverage if you're the Pelicans. It's like the worst.
They're dead dick last, and they don't win games. So, like, at this point, what does it matter, you know?
Well, they wouldn't get, like, they wouldn't get second-round picks for Zion. You're getting first-round picks for Zion, regardless. Like, they're going to be in fire sale mode. They're getting rid of Trey. They're getting rid of Zion. They're getting rid of DeJounte Murray. They're just pressing reset on that. Whatever that they get for Zion, it's definitely at minimum first-round pick or a high-value player to where they can go into next season revolve around either Boozer or Peterson. For sure. That would be terrible. Going from that would be
Barkman
awful.
going to the Pelicans. That's
I'm
disgusting.
trying to. I'm just trying to look at bottom teams right now. That like, I don't think he goes to a contender. Honestly, I think he's going to go to a bottom team that's got a pick they can shell out, and instead of taking the gamble on a pick that they can go get. So like, maybe. God, did he
Don't
go
you
to
dare
Charlotte?
say it.
Did he go to Charlotte with LaMelo? Does he end
Don't
up a
you dare. Don't you dare say it. Stop.
LaMelo and Zion, bro. That would be a show. I'll tell you what.
like you can't tell me I'm like wrong on that. Like that's just the thing is like I don't think any contender is going to want a Zion when you know that you can make that call and try and fight for Lauri Markkanen. And if you tried to trade for Markkanen, you're not going to settle for Zion. You know?
Well, it's that is solely dependent on front office. The Pelicans have if probably the second worst front office in basketball next to Sacramento, but that's why the Jazz are going to be considerably way better in the future because Danny Ainge is at the helm. I hate him as a person, but as a GM, he wins every single trade, regardless of who he's getting, going for. Danny Ainge is just being able to get to an organization, put them on the right track, and give them long term success.
Then I guess I mean I don't really want to keep talking about bottom feeder teams, but like I feel like it's just got to get talked about at this point. So what does Dallas do? I mean, firing Nico is probably the best decision that franchise has ever made. But like, what do? You're 3-7 in your last 10. You're sitting in 13th in the West. You're 9 games out of first place. Like, is it already time to hit the panic button? Is it already time to shut down your guys and like not get anybody hurt? Like,
It's a year of development. Because where they're at, Anthony Davis is already out. Several games he's already out for this next week to get reevaluated the week after, and we don't even know where it is then. Cooper Flag actually has been looking a lot better as of recently. He's not taking the point guard helm. They finally listened and are putting D'Angelo Russell as a primary ball handler and let Cooper Flag just kind of
it's crazy how
do.
that works.
Yeah, right. But they're letting Cooper kind of run the 2-3/4 and just kind of figure things out. And he's been
But
doing, I think, a rather good job.
do you think they fire sale their good role players? Like, do you think that this is like, do you think this is a core they keep, or do you think that 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these guys are like pieces that a contender team is going to want down a run? Like,
It's
are they
it's
going to keep Gafford? Are they going to keep a Blake? Are they going to keep these guys? Like,
Well, that's a really good question, Justin, because I think there's really good value in PJ Washington somewhere on a contending team. There's really good value with Daniel Gafford. There's really good value with even like Najee Marshall. Like he's been looking really good. He's been one of the short bright spots for them. But at because I love rehashing this conversation. Mavs fans are having to troll me, trying to think that we're going to be better than San Antonio once Kyrie comes back. It's going to be no. Basically, you're fucked at this point. There's nothing you can do. I think if the right deal can be made, I think you would probably get rid of Gafford. I think they want to keep Washington as much. I think he might be an untouchable. But this is another thing I want to throw out there because of the limited amount of games that he's played. Do you get rid of Anthony Davis?
for what? Honestly, like, for
Well, you
what?
think so. So if you think about it, Dallas doesn't have that many draft picks in the future. You go and get a whole bunch of draft picks to go and revolve this team around Cooper Flag.
But here's my question: what's his value? Because 9 months ago, his value was Luka Doncic.
Well, that's
Well,
the thing.
that's
Is
my
like we
problem.
don't know. We don't know.
I was gonna say the Doncic trade literally screwed everything up because the Lakers get Doncic for only a first round pick in AD, which means that AD is so valuable that him plus a first round pick equals Luka. So now the question is like, Okay, well then on his own, does that not make his value like top 10 in the NBA? Like, so at that point, what are you asking for? Wasn't it like Miles Bridges that got 5 first round picks? Or Michael Bridges, yeah. 5
Shut up.
first round picks.
Shut up.
So
Just
it's
shut
like
up.
so what does AD
Oh,
so does AD fetch like 10 first round picks? Like I just don't know where we're at right now. Like,
well, this is the thing, Retro. I wanted to run this by you. I had this conversation with a AD Glazer. Shout out AB Ball.
those.
yeah.
Where's what Retro? Where do you know where AD is from?
No, I know he went to college in Kentucky. I don't know where he's from.
He went to, but do you know his hometown?
No.
Chicago.
Oh, we love him here. Yeah, I'll take him.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
the two teams with Chicago, because of him going back home, that saves your interior defense when he's on the court. Because Vooch, even though he's a great offensive player, he's not a good rim protector. And you have a good defense around Giddey and White. The other team that got thrown into this mix that could possibly happen, because Justin, we were talking about this in the offseason. You're a Suns fan. You didn't want Booker to go to Detroit. And remember having these crash out conversations. Anthony Davis to the Detroit Pistons.
Well, I'll put it this way. As far as the Bulls are concerned, a lineup of White, Giddey, Buzelis, AD, and Vucevic is one of the best starting lineups in the league, bar none. That's insane. As far as the Pistons are concerned, I mean, I don't know. I think Justin wanted to talk about that.
No. I think, honestly, if we're really talking about landing spots for players, I have a feeling that would be the Markkanen home. That would be the team that trades for him. That would be the team that,
Markkanen.
hey, we're leading the East right now, and they're comfortably leading the East right now. 2.5 games over Cleveland, who is technically in third somehow because of games played, but they're 12-2. They're on a 10-win streak, and their team's playing great. Yeah, they had a fucking scary game against Washington, which they had to hit a game-tying 3 to go into OT, but like...
Shout out Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, didn't he go 15 of 45, Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, we already talked about this because somebody wanted to say it wasn't that great of a game because he shot 33%. Man went fucking off. Stop putting shit on this young kid he's still trying to navigate waters, whether you like it or not. The kid's still trying to find an identity, and he is a superstar. So it is what it is. But I'm still on the train of, even as hard as the NBA is, Cade will be an MVP in time.
I want to give also a quick shout out to my Bulls, who have now dropped a 14-point lead and are up by 1 because Nikola Jokic is 13, 9, and 10 right now in the first half.
That's crazy.
He's about to get a triple-double in the first half.
He's about to go on a 6-game skid and drop below 500.
Yeah, well, Jokic is about to drop a triple-double in the first half. What do you...
Well, regardless, I think Lauri could be a good fit in Detroit. It'll depend on the value of what he can get off ball if they have to give up Tobias Harris.
I'll give you 3 homes I think that he ends up in, and I'll be honest with you. I think the 3 homes he ends up in, he either ends up as a Piston, he ends up as a Knick, or he ends up as a Laker.
Well, as far as the Pistons, I actually like the idea too because he's 28, so he's not like super old, and the Pistons are trying to build around Cade and have like a younger core. You can get probably 4 to 5 years of very good value out of Markkanen, I think. So I think that's probably a good idea. Like, you surround him with that. The Lakers could be really interesting, actually. That could be an intriguing fit. I don't think I'd mind that too much. You put him in. Well, I don't know. I mean, Luka's, he's a great facilitator, and obviously Markkanen is really good at spot up shooting. And so you got Luka facilitating the ball to him. I think that could be like very, very solid. I don't know. I think it could be an interesting fit.
I would disagree. I think that fucks their defense up even more.
I mean, that's probably true, but I mean, at this point,
or they
just score 150 every night. It's all good.
And give up 200.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna try to give up 149.
Right.
His contract is
nasty. Yes, and that's why I was saying slightly
5
these
years,
bigger.
$8 million.
Yeah, that's why I was saying these slightly bigger market teams because they have some contracts coming off the bench. That's why I mentioned Tobias Harris. He has a costly contract, and a couple guys off their bench and a couple picks. But neither here or there. Lauri Markkanen, if you get traded, you get traded, and Danny Ainge is going to get the most amount of value with that contract that you have. Shout out to you. Something that I wanted to bring up really quickly. Is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they are in an interesting spot because Kenny Atkinson uses a lot of off-ball actions, and they look great in these off-ball actions, making Darius Garland's come back and he's looked pretty decent. Mitchell's still scoring. What is it, like almost 30 points a night, if not just a little bit over 30 points. But I'm seeing a lot of these actions go through Mobley and not Devin Mitchell. So like, what's happening over in Cleveland?
That's what you just said, right?
What?
Donovan Mitchell. Don't even.
Nah. He, until proven otherwise, he's basically Davion Mitchell. Fuck D Mitch.
So Donovan Mitchell is obviously him. Donovan Mitchell's him. He's their offensive engine, in the same way that Mobley is their defensive engine. I think that D Mitch and Mobley need each other. I think that they feed off of each other. I think that Cavs team would be much worse if either of them weren't on it. If somebody wanted to say that like, let's say Mobley is more important than D Mitch because he provides the defense, that's fine. If you want to say Donovan Mitchell is more important because he provides the offense, I think that's fine too. But I really think those two are really like a 1-2 combo that are around the same value. That's what I think.
I mean, it's definitely a 1-2 punch. I mean, I really don't know how they move on and how they make this team better because I think like a lot of their guys are eating up a fair amount of contract money. But I mean, they're role players right now. Just the inconsistencies is, I think, what's costing them a little bit. I mean, they should have never lost that game in Miami. They should have never lost. But like, you look at some of these guys. I mean, look at the week that like DeAndre Hunter has had for them. Against the Bulls, he had 29. The Heat 23. The Heat again 21. And then he started declining again. 16 against the Raptors, 9 against the Grizzlies, 11 against the Bucks, and that's active right now. But it's like, I just don't know what their identity to me just is so confusing. I don't know how they continue to move. Are they the team that needs to, at the free agency, say, hey, we need a piece because we can't go out the way we did last year? So they're another big question mark team. They're top 3 in the East, but at the same time, it's like they could slide down to 7th at any point with, I mean, the Knicks are above them, and then you got the Hawks, Sixers, Raptors, Heat, and Bucks all right on their tail. So it's like, it's a weird situation in Cleveland. They've looked good, but have they looked good? Their losses are all close games, and some of their games that they've won, they definitely should have lost. They just go on good comebacks in the fourth quarter. They go on runs that ice out other teams. So it's like, I don't really know how to talk about this team right now. I mean,
it's we talked about it before, but the East in general is just really weird, and it puts like every team in the East in a weird spot because no one really knows like where they're going to end up in that pecking order. And like you said, everybody's so like close together. It's really hard. I think you're right in that DeAndre Hunter stepping up and being a big part of that, I think, is going to help them for sure. When you go to a great college like UVA, you learn a lot of basketball fundamentals that.
So what I was going to say is the top. If you take out Detroit, seed 2 to seed 11 is separated by 2.5 games. I mean,
disgusting.
12 through 15, just you guys suck. Sorry, not sorry. That would be the Hornets, Nets, Wizards, and Pacers. You guys just suck. But from the Magic, who have been skidding and are going to continue to skid, Magic, Celtics, Bulls, Bucks, Heat, Raptors, Sixers, Hawks, in that order up to the Cavs in the 3 spot. Like, the East is something.
The Nets and Wizards are both 1-11, right?
Huh?
The Nets and Wizards are both 1-11, right?
One is 1-11. I believe the Nets
Two
put
and
BTA.
side.
Yeah,
Wow.
they played each other.
I saw that they were playing each other, and everybody was calling it one of the worst regular season games ever.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, it's just. And then you see, but that's the thing is, you look at that side, and then you look at the West, and it's like the Thunder, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers. And I want to say the Spurs, but this next month is a big question. Those top five are kind of, or those top four are just like.
Oh,
Who's gonna?
the NBA champion this year is coming out of the West, almost a guarantee. Like
Well,
it's, I don't think the East will win.
I would agree, but to segue quickly because you're talking about West teams, Justin, we were just talking about this off screen. The Houston Rockets, right? I think even when seems like KD fucking heard you personally, dog. Because since said conversation last year last week when we were starting talking about KD in these ISO situations in late in the shot clock, they've implemented him earlier in the shot clock to create his own shots. They're now back as the number one rated offense, and Sengun and KD are looking really fucking scary.
I just
So
want to know when people are going to understand that I don't just say things that are what I say isn't rage bait, and what I say off of my eye talent and what I see happening isn't going to be like end all be all, but I know how this shit works. And when you don't do things that you're supposed to with the pieces you have, there's a problem. And if I can see it, I'm sure these coaches that get paid a fuck ton of money, that have stats analysts up their ass with all this information, all this, they have film, they have everything under the sun, and they know how these players' tendencies work. If they don't know how to do this, any franchise want me to try to come fix your shit for a ninth of what you're paying these coaches? Gladly, I will come give it a shot because I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to fix any one of these teams that has less than 3 wins, but I sure can't do worse than what you're fucking paying for right now.
You know, given how chronic of a social media user Kevin Durant is, he probably does watch this show. He probably watches every show. He probably searches his name into a...
I'm sure there's some whistles going off in his ears while he's sleeping. Somebody said my name. All right, what's going on? But it's like, it's so dumb. Like, I did this... I do this with every sport I talk about. Like I said, I told you guys I played in this like softball tournament this weekend, and there was a guy who plays professional. He gets paid to play. His name is on bats, this, that, and the other. And I was telling him about tendencies of guys he plays against. He goes, "How do you know how to do all that?" And I said, "I've always been a better coach than I am a player. I'm an analytics guy, but I also use the eye test." Now this dude has been in my DMs for the last 2 days asking me about certain tendencies of different players he plays against. So it's like, I know how to do this. The fact that these guys that get paid, maybe not for that, millions of dollars, but like we do the NFL podcast, things I talk about kind of tend to happen. We do this basketball podcast. I explain things. Teams implement something like it. Teams start looking better. The Rockets are on a 4-game win streak after starting out 5-3 on the year. Like, keep playing basketball, but do the right fucking things when you have the right pieces. Use guys' games correctly. It's just really fucking annoying.
I guess my question is, can they maintain? Do they look for a trade?
Maintain?
Do the Rockets maintain the level of play that they have with KD and Sengun? Because I think both have been playing out of their minds with each other. I think they're starting to complement each other really well. But is it able to be maintained in a late February, getting to March runs where people are starting getting hurt, and it's game 65 of the like? I guess what should they add a piece? Because I've been thinking about a name.
My answer to that is yes, and I think the yes is, and we talked about it last week, and you guys wanted to give me a bunch of shit for it when I said Frank VanVleet wasn't the answer.
I actually agreed.
They need to go find a playmaking point guard, and I don't know what a name on that list for me would look like. I really don't. The guy that sticks out to me, I think would be an interesting fit. I don't think it'd be a great fit, but it could definitely be something interesting. I would love to see what Lonzo Ball, with his playmaking ability, could do leading that offense.
Jules, you can go ahead. Because the name you brought up, I also agree with, and I actually think he's probably a little better than Lonzo at that too.
I think Lonzo's way too valuable to give up with Cleveland running that second unit and being a off ball guy for Mitchell to lean in like corner situations and making like connecting reads and stuff like that. I think Lonzo stays. I think that's why they gave him that contract. I have to say James Harden. James Harden goes back to Houston, guys. He
That ruins the offense. I'm sorry. That ruins the flow of the offense. The ball dominant nature of James Harden ruins the offense.
I don't think he is anymore, though. James Harden is much more a playmaker than he is ball dominant these days. He used to be, but he's very old now, and he's very good at ball.
Again, how many times are we going to try this combination? Please elaborate. How many times?
No, but it's not like you've got like James Harden, KD, and that's it. You're talking James Harden, you got KD, you have Sengun. Like you're getting the ball to like James Harden's whole role would be you are on the court to get the ball to your playmakers. That's your job. Like you are gonna purely playmake. That's what we want you to do. And I think
James Udoka would make him do that.
Yeah, well, and my thing is, I think he'll be willing to do that because I think he wants a ring more than anything. At this point in your career, you're James Harden. You've made your millions. You've shown that you can, be the team leader enough. That you've had some crazy seasons. You've done all that stuff. Now you want a ring. You want some stuff for your resume. So if I was Harden, I'd be like, yeah, screw it. Why not, bro? I'll go back home.
I'll be honest. This is something I'm really feeling about. It's cool if they do it. It works in the regular season. Whatever. They get to the postseason, and it just turns into an absolute shit show. And then they're back to the drawing board again and what they do. Then they're stuck with Harden's contract. They're stuck with having to pay their younger guys. So what do they do? Like, it's one of those things where, in theory, it's a great idea. You get a James Harden piece. You get a James Harden, KD, Sengun, and Ben Thompson. So you get something like that. A man's name doesn't belong in it, but unfortunately he plays for them. But it's just one of those situations where on paper it looks good. In 2K it looks really fucking good. But in the real world, I just don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think they'll finish in the exact same spot they're in right now. I think even if they didn't trade for him. But it's just one of those things. It's going to be a what if. Are they going to be willing to give up the assets, give up the picks, take on the contract? I feel like there's too much to lose and not enough to gain.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of my aspect of it. I mean, talk about your guys' teams. I don't really want to talk about my team because the less I talk about my teams lately, the better they do. I'm taking.
Do you not want to talk about Dylan Brooks being a GOAT?
Not going to ever that just.
What?
I just lost IQ points by you saying Dylan Brooks. And
what are you talking about? Dylan Brooks has been fantastic for you guys. He's been vital.
Right. Cool. The only thing about my team I want to talk about is somehow, some way, by the metrics, my team is better without Devin Booker on the floor, and that's just confusing to me.
Finite amount of games.
It's very finite, but I mean, as long as he keeps playing the ball he is right now, I think we'll be fine. I don't think, again, we're not contenders, never claimed to be contenders. Shocked we're even in 8th place to begin with. Our team has looked good. Jalen Green took on his role very nicely. Dylan Brooks has taken on his role very nicely. I mean, we said it last week. I think that I would like to see more out of Malloak. I would like to see him actually get time and minutes to adjust to the game. But like I said, I don't really have a lot to say on my team. I just hope we continue to play good basketball. And that's.
I'm just saying, don't.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
I was going to say, Dylan Brooks, past 10 games, he's averaging 22, 2, and 3 on near 50-40-90 splits.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the only thing that I have to say about the Suns is I'm not super bought into Malloak. Well, at Duke, like when he was playing there, he wasn't exactly an offensive powerhouse. He was basically just a rim protector, rebounder. And I guess like he can probably do that pretty well, but I just wouldn't be encouraged by anything on the offensive end as far as he's concerned.
I really don't need him to be an offensive player. We got to the finals with a bum-ass center, so.
I mean, that he is probably, at his peak in terms of rim protection, he's going to be infinitely better than DeAndre Ayton as long as he develops.
Dunk the ball when he's under the rim. So, I mean, like I said, it's one of those.
I guess when it's like comparing DeAndre Ayton, you're honestly, that's not a high bar to set there.
Nurkic, anybody else you want to bring up that was
Justin, I do have a quick question. Because watching some Suns games purposely just for your sake, I think Suns are a really good watch. The fact that you guys aren't playing Malawatch that much is a fucking crime. Because I guess my question is, I think Malawatch could be slightly worse. I don't know how to frame it. It's not slightly worse. I think his skill set could be just as good as like Jalen Duren on the Pistons, where he's a good lob threat. I mean, I think Durant's expands the floor a little bit more, but they're both defensive-minded centers. Jalen Durant's having a career year again. Shout out Kate Cunningham for elevating him. I think Malawatch could be like 18-8, like 16-9. Jeremy Duran is giving you like 20-12, but do you think that could be his ceiling? Am I far off? I've been a big Malawatch guy.
No, if he's a 20-12 guy, I'd probably put him more at like a 15-8 guy.
I was about to say 15-10. Like that's probably where I place him.
It's going to be in that situation, but yeah, I mean, I think we're finally taking steps in the right direction again. You guys already know how angry I get over the moves that have been made since we made the finals. But it's just it's going to be rough. I mean, it's going to be a rough transition. I think we're 3 to 5 years from being a competent team and maybe 5 to 7 years off of being a contender, depending on how the league is. I think we need a lot of teams to die out before we do that. I think we need to make some moves, accrue some draft picks. I think it's going to take, honestly, we're going to have to sell some people, and I think it's going to be in that 3 to 5 year window. Without success, I think that Devin Booker will be off our group, as much as I hate to say it. It's just, he doesn't want to leave, and the franchise doesn't want to part with him. I sure as hell don't want him to go to another team. I'd rather him be a lifer. I mean, it's the heart and soul of our team. It is what it is, whether you want to admit it or not. No matter what superstar you want to pluck from another team, if there was an option to put him on the team, it will always be Devin Booker's team. It will not be anyone else's team. So it's a hard situation. It's hard to be a Suns fan right now. I like the moves that they're making. I like the tendencies we're trending toward, but at the end of the day, we're not going to compete for Larry O'Brien in potentially this decade. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I basically feel the same about my team. I don't think we're going to be in Larry O'Brien conversations for forever, is what it feels like. But I don't know. Maybe if Buzelis actually develops into the future, fingers crossed.
And the worst thing to say about it, and you can clip this if you want, because I'm sure it'll go viral, because there are people that hate me for shitting on my own teams. But if we somehow squeak into the playoffs, we are literally a bye for a team. We are literally a free round win for a team. So.
The thing is, I don't think it's bad to be realistic about your team. To say, like, listen, like, this year is not our year, or even, like, the next few years are not our years. It's just we have a lot of things to deal with.
I'm telling you, we're not a tanking team. No matter, people always say, oh, their franchise isn't a tanking team. We'll never tank. This team needs it in the worst way. Yes, us playing good means that our trade decisions are not as bad because our picks aren't as high, which fucks the other side of the trade system, which makes me happy. I'll always be that person. I do that shit in fantasy all the time. I'll trade my first round pick and then I'll go and make other moves with other people to strip that guy out. Speaking of, Jules, if you ever offer me Zach LaVine and Grayson Allen for a Thompson brother again.
And the other thing that I think is so crucial, especially about like tanks this year, I don't think people understand how generational this class is. Like, this next class is crazy. Your top three are Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, and Dybonsa, who are all fighting as potential number one prospects. In almost any other year, all three of these guys would be number one picks. You have Caleb Wilson, who's playing for UNC in his first year, and he's averaging 20 and 10 right now. You have Michael Brown at Louisville, who's playing in his first year. He's averaging 19 and 7. You have Nate Ament as a freshman at Tennessee, who's averaging 20 and 9. I mean, you have some insane talent in this draft class. Even guys that are projected as like top 15, but not even really top 10. Bennett Sturts is at Iowa averaging 21. Like, this year's class is going to be very, very good, and it is going to be crucial to have a high pick, which is why I'm kind of worried about the fact that currently the Thunder are projected to have the number 10 pick and the number 8 pick, because that would be very, very bad for the NBA, because I don't know what we would do to stop that team. We can't really stop them right now, so I don't know what would happen then, but this draft class is crazy.
If you're OKC, do you take those 2 picks and trade up just for funsies, just to piss the league off?
I don't think any other team. If I'm any other team that is above them, I'm hanging up. I'm not taking those calls. No, you cannot trade up. No, you're not allowed. You get what you get. Like, there's no way I'm allowing OKC to scam their way up into the top 5 and go get somebody insane.
If they send both of those picks, I mean, a team's gonna salivate. Oh my God, we have 2 top 10 picks. But cool, you just gave them a number 1, number 2, number 3 pick overall. It's like, yeah.
If they get any of those 3 guys, Dybonsa, Peterson, or Boozer, it is over for the league. You can pack it up. It is done.
Speaking of which, Boozer's been fucking unreal this last 2
he's been insane. Yeah.
He's been so good.
And Dybonsa's been going stupid. In their last game against UConn, he almost single-handedly led a 16-point comeback. Like, these guys are crazy.
There's talks right now that Boozer right now as a freshman has just been, like, he's taking college basketball by storm. We've never seen a freshman take over like this. Like, whoever ends up with him, do not squander it. Do not squander it. If he came into college basketball not knowing how college basketball is played, and he's doing this, imagine what he can do in the NBA.
He's gonna follow in his dad's footsteps. He's gonna go to the Jazz, put up really good numbers, and then fall off.
Or the other thing is AJ Dybonsa goes to the Jazz because he plays for BYU, so he's in Utah right now.
Well, the Pelicans are gonna get this first overall pick.
I don't know. I think
Lauri marketing.
The NBA and all of their fun, enjoyable, definitely not rigged draft lotteries. If the Thunder have a chance to get the number 1 overall pick, I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to get a top 3 overall pick at the very least.
And if that happens, Adam Silver needs to resign.
I just have a weird sneaking suspicion the NBA might be like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if they got the number 3 overall pick and they got, Darren Peterson or AJ Dybonsa? Wouldn't that be hee ha ha? Wouldn't that be funny? And I think it's gonna happen.
Is there any other teams we want to touch on real quick just to round out the week?
It's up to you guys.
The Atlanta Hawks. Shout out to you guys for beating the allegations of Trae Young, because Trae Young is a fraud and Jalen Johnson is your best player.
Shout out to half your team.
Sucks. Dude, Jalen Johnson almost dropped
being day to day. Shout out to half their team being day to day right now.
And them still winning games too.
That Jalen Johnson game was genuinely insane. If he would have put up a quadruple double, how long has it been since somebody's put up a quadruple double?
I don't know. Jokic will figure it out.
That's true. That
Jokic is not gonna fucking get a call.
Okay, sorry. Giannis or Wemby will figure it out.
That's also probably Wemby is gonna have a 10-block game one of these days.
That would just be the icing on the.
Already had a couple 10-block games. I think he's had 2.
At least. I'm pretty sure he's had 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I want to cover. Basketball wise on that end of things, week by week, it's going to be nice to see this. I just want to see somebody shock the world, somebody make a change, somebody do something crazy. Right now, we're looking how we thought the football season was going to go before the league got plagued with injuries, where it's all going to stay the same. So somebody in that 8 to 11 spot, make a run, make this interesting. Just have a little fun with it this year. But that's all I got for this week. for that side of things. Y'all ready to fight each other?
I'm gonna get. What is this shit? You've been teasing this for fucking 2 hours now.
I just love it because you guys. Well, that's the thing is, no, you guys always want me to drop hints on the shit, and I'm like, nope, you guys can fight when we get to it. So the pick 3 cut 5s this week, I decided to go back to the same thing that two of the same categories we did last week, with the best individual season and the past and present duos, and then the other one is biggest draft busts. So that one will be a little fun. But first, we're going to start off with the best individual seasons. And we're just going to go with 08-09 Kobe.
08-09?
08-09 Kobe. Retro, don't look so lost. If you have to do research to answer questions with them, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a big historian, so let me see what this is looking like.
Historian when it's fucking 15 years old is crazy.
I don't know specific seasons, okay?
Jules, he's 12. He just showed us his midterm.
That's fair. This is his peak year, in my opinion.
That's crazy.
His peak year and offensive best year are two different things. Let's keep it a
Correct.
band. I would say keep.
This does look like a pretty insane year. Second in MVP, NBA all defensive team. It's a really good year. 27 points per game.
Fraud all NBA defensive team. Anyways, go ahead.
So we're keeping 08-09 Kobe.
You want to keep a fraud? Is that what you're saying, Jules?
A fraudulent defensive team. Dwayne Wade was better defensively that year. Shout out to you, Justin. Go ahead.
So we're keeping him?
Yes, we are keeping.
I'm good with that.
All right, well, that just made things a whole lot more interesting. 05-06 Dirk.
05-06 Dirk?
I just watched Jules' face change.
I think he should have won MVP this year over Steve Nash. I think this is his best year. I think it's slightly better than 07.
That's why I picked this one.
I'd say cut. That's a tough fucking cut.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
And as this list just continues to get harder, 98-99. Jules, you want to put the player name in there?
Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan.
99. I don't think 99. He has an argument for MVP over that fucking diddler Karl Malone. He makes all defensive first team, all NBA first team, but that's still not his peak. It's still probably a top 4 Tim Duncan season.
So it's 22-11, and 2.5 blocks.
Yeah,
I mean that's a good season. I mean, it seems defensively he was pretty solid.
I would say cut because it's a lockout shortened year, but it's a better Duncan year. It's a better Duncan year. It's a tough cut. Fuck you, Justin.
He shot 14% from 3.
I'm gonna get before you go on. For the people who do watch on my side of things, if you call me a Duncan hater because I cut this motherfucker, I'm going to be so pissed. And I kept Kobe too.
Why don't we ever talk about Tim Duncan lows?
Jules is gonna get all the hate, and I'm gonna get it all flooded directly at me from Jules. It's gonna be great.
I just wonder why we never talk about the Tim Duncan lows. That's all.
Fuck off, Retro.
Let me know in the comments why we never talk about
Yeah, let's talk about the Tim Duncan lows. That list is non-existent. Got it. Anyway, 2000-2001 Shaq.
01 Shaq. Ooh. That's not, that's in his peak. That's a good year. Was it 26 and 12?
I will not be. I told you, I have the stats, and I will not be giving them to either.
Jules, it's 29 and 13.
Mm.
And he also had 4 assists per game. It's pretty crazy.
No, this is one of his better playmaking years. I would say let's take Shaq in 01. He's leading the best defense in the league. Really good playmaker. Yeah, I would say that.
You got one keep left. 03, 04 Garnett.
Oh, you motherfucker. Oh,
And
my
Jules is like the
God.
biggest Garnett Glazer of
Oh,
all.
my God. Oh, my God. And how many cuts do we have?
You have one keep.
So he averaged 24, 14, and 5. Holy
You have one keep, and then you have Garnett and 3 more.
That's actually a great.
You fucking bastard. You're a fucking bastard. Dog, 04 Garnett. No, Retro, I want you to understand this. If you go by numbers and everything, KG in 04 is absurd. His on-off numbers are disgusting. His defensive and offensive help is literally like non-existent. It is a carry job to the Western Conference Finals.
What's crazy to me is that he had 178 blocks, but also 120 steals. That's freaking crazy.
Totals are cool, and mind you, he's having to play point guard in the Western Conference Finals because Sam Cassell gets hurt. KG is running up the ball, dribbling the fucking ball for the Timberwolves. Fuck you, Justin. We have to cut. I shouldn't have kept Kobe. Fuck Kobe. This is why Kobe's not top 10.
Fuck. 13, 14 KD.
This is a lot more recent because
This is the MVP year. I don't even think this is like when he wins MVP. He deserves it, but I don't even think this is KD's best season. 04 clears 14. Fuck.
But I mean, in that season, though, KD is a scoring powerhouse, and he's at 32.86.
Trust me, it's Justin. This is what we'll always go back to. It's Justin.
Got it. So
I just wonder if he has like a Jordan season in the back pocket or like
a cutting KD.
Reluctantly, but I feel like it's a great season though.
Got it. 83-84 Bird.
Oh. Wait, this is wait. No, I think that's 80. Oh no, it is 84. No, cut.
Okay.
I think Moses Malone should have won that in 84.
24, 10, and 7. Yeah.
So you kept Kobe, you kept Shaq, you cut Dirk, you cut Duncan, you cut Garnett, you cut KD, and you cut Bird to keep 63-64 Oscar.
That's his triple double year, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, number one relative offense. I'm pretty sure makes the Eastern Conference Finals against the. I'm not mad at that, but you fucking dickhead put KG
31, 11, and 10.
You cut KG and Dirk, which is amazing.
Fuck Dirk.
Also, preeminently, for all the people that are going to come at me and call me a casual, I openly say I do not know as much about basketball, and especially not basketball history. I know current stuff because I've started paying attention, but like I don't know years and stuff. That's
fine.
Hard.
So, biggest draft busts, you're going to try to keep the 3 worst players.
Okay, so we're keeping a bust that is worse than another one.
You're trying to have the 3 worst players in your opinion.
Waiting to hear like Anthony Bennett or something.
Oh, weird. Number 1, Anthony Bennett.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I would say keep. Anthony Bennett's like known as the worst of the worst.
There's much worse ones.
I don't know, bro. Anthony Bennett kind of has the reputation as like the worst draft bust. No,
there's worse ones.
I don't know. Are you willing to cut Anthony Bennett?
I'm cutting Anthony Bennett.
All right.
There's worse ones.
Anthony Bennett single-handedly the reason Cleveland got a championship. But yeah, all right.
Yep. That's
Sam
why he's not a bust.
Sam
Bowie. I would also cut. I don't think no one talks about Sam Bowie enough. He is definitely a draft bust.
No one really talks about Bowie.
Darko Milicic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Darko's coming up. I would cut.
You would cut.
Right, keep. Yeah.
I would keep
Darko's terrible. Yeah, I would.
Keeping Darko?
Yeah. I feel for Darko, but yeah.
Adam Morrison.
I would cut.
I would cut Adam Morrison. I think there's worse ones.
I'm waiting for a certain certified scrub to show up.
Would that certified scrub be Markelle Fultz?
No, and I would cut Markelle Fultz. I think
also
Markelle
cut.
Fultz has been like okay.
Hashim to beat.
Dude, absolute heat. I love Hashim to beat. I love Hashim to beat.
I think I know that guy. Yeah, well that's fine.
Next up is Michael Olowokandi.
That's a keep. That's a keep.
But
Michael Olowokandi sucks.
Isn't that all our keeps though? Because Jules, what about
That is
Kwame?
your last keep with one name left.
Jules, what about Kwame Brown though? I would put Kwame Brown.
He's worse than Kwame.
Nah. There's no way. There's no way.
So you kept Milicic to beat an Olowokandi to cut Bennett, Bowie, Morrison, Fultz, and Greg Oden.
Oh. I mean, yeah. That's fair.
Alright, well this is where just nastiness comes to work. The past and present duos.
So this is the one that I can actually chime in on because I know past and present duos as well.
The first one up is David Robinson and De'Aaron Fox.
That's kind of mid, actually. I would cut. Jules, comparatively to other all-time duos, are we for real? Jules, you know damn well compared to the other all-time present duos we could do.
Who's a top 5 defender that is else on this list? Because D-Rob's a top 5 or 6 defender.
Bro, we've got De'Aaron Fox. It's bringing. There are so many superstars in this league.
Who's averaging 22, 6, and 4 on 50, 40, 90.
Oh my goodness gracious, bro! We're talking. You could get Luka and Kareem, bro. You could get Paolo and prime Dwight Howard or something. There's a lot of ways you could.
That's a worse duo than Fox and D-Rob. I'll tell you that.
Paolo and prime Dwight Howard.
Because Dwight Howard is not as close as defensively as D-Rob, and Paolo can't hit a jump shot.
I could get paid for the amount of rage bait I do on these lists.
Let's cut him.
Bro, I would cut him.
It's a cut, bro.
Steve Nash and Devin Booker.
That's an instantaneous cut.
I agree with you. It'd be a crazy backcourt.
Dwayne Wade and Tyler Hero.
Ew.
I think you guys are understanding where this list goes.
I'd probably cut, but that's
if this is the list, we have to keep some nasty fucking
I know, because I didn't know that we were going for mid. That's a weird list.
This I don't know why we cut D-Rob and fucking Fox. I don't know.
Because I didn't know this is where we were going, because it was the first one he named.
So we're cutting?
Yeah.
We'll cut.
Okay.
We still have 2 cuts left, so.
Carmelo Anthony and Jalen Brunson.
That's actually, I don't know. That's just a crazy scoring duo. I don't know.
And Jules just realized where this list went.
This is fucking atrocious. No.
Hey, listen, you want a duo that's gonna score 60 a night, okay?
And still lose by 20?
And still lose by 20?
We're cutting.
Yeah, we have to. We only have 1 left, so.
You two only have 1 cut left. Which is why this is so great. Paul Pierce and Jaylen Brown.
I'd keep that.
No.
Yes. The Truth and Jaylen Brown? Yeah, bro. Yes.
But yeah, 2 guys who were never the best players on their team when they won championships, yeah.
Well, one guy was the best. The other one was not. That is
No.
Yes.
No.
One guy was Finals MVP. The other one, he was not as good as.
They were both Finals MVP.
Oh yeah, I forgot Paul Pierce was a Finals MVP.
You really want to cut this and just randomly keep what's behind them?
No, listen. I think it's a good keep. You got 2 Finals MVPs. You got the Truth and Jaylen Brown. I think it's fitting. I like that. And Jaylen Brown brings the defensive presence, and Paul Pierce brings the spacing. You got a great shooter there. Jaylen Brown can put up.
Paul Pierce sucks.
He's a great shooter.
No, he's not.
I'm gonna need an answer.
I say keep.
We're keeping this shitty duo. D-Rob and Fox, clear. Clear.
Keep either Carmelo Anthony or Paul Pierce. Dennis Rodman and Cade Cunningham.
Oh, God.
What?
Why?
What?
Well,
I'm almost intrigued to keep so I can hear the next names, dog.
I mean, I guess Cade can elevate Dennis Rodman. Okay, I think it's fine.
I think we're trolling. No, we're trolling. We're keeping this. Fuck it. We're keeping it.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Tracy McGrady and Kevin Durant.
Oh, keep.
T-Mac in KD? Houston.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's
basically a 6'10" demigod and 7-foot demigod. I mean,
yeah, literally.
I would keep, sure. This is yeah, we'll keep.
Who's the last one?
So happy. You kept Paul Pierce and Jaylen Brown. You kept Dennis Rodman and Cade Cunningham. You kept T-Mac and KD to cut the Admiral and Fox, Nash and Book, Wade and Hero, Carmelo and Jalen Brunson. This might be the end of the podcast, boys. And your last cut is Wilt Chamberlain and Steph Curry.
Oh. Because, of course, you just hold that at the end, naturally.
Jules, dude.
The thing is, even if we took David Robinson and D Fox, you know damn well that Wilt and Steph is way better than them anyway.
I'm gonna have a stroke from this shit. Like, why?
Why did you just put the weirdest duos and then you just stick Wilt and Steph at the end?
Yeah, you know, this is what Justin does. He goes on his computer and he says, "Oh yeah, they played together, Dennis Rodman and Cade Cunningham, willingly for free."
They just played for the same team.
And I mean they did, I guess.
Yeah.
Bro,
this is my favorite part. I can have all the ball knowledge in the world, and I can be told I don't have any. As long as
at this point, just give me Jaylen Brown's hairline and just spray paint it on. Like this is, and just let it like.
At this point, bro, next one just Jalen Duran and Bill Laimbeer, famous duo, of course.
It's not famous. It just says past and present duos. They're gonna get
disgusting.
They're gonna get progressively nastier as I use people. Notice how some greats haven't been used yet in the 2 weeks we've done this.
By the way, eventually we're gonna get to the point where it's like Johnny Moore and Dylan Harper, by the way, or something like that. And
we're keeping, mind you. We're fighting about
that. Johnny Moore.
I know about Johnny Moore. Do you know about Johnny Moore?
No, because he played against plumbers.
That's true. He did play against plumbers.
All right, so let's get to our history facts, and then we can wrap it up.
Just wrap it up now. Fuck.
Got Jules.
What's the fact?
I got Jules to cut Tim Duncan and Stephen Wilt. It's a great day.
Oh, Steph's a fuck Steph and fuck Wilt. Fake. They're fake. Fake stats, and probably the second worst fan club in basketball discourse.
Wilt also played against plumbers.
Yeah, so. you got Wilt. You got Wilt teamed up with the rightful owner of the San Antonio Spurs.
Hey, Wilt played with accountants, bro. We don't like Wilt here.
Yeah, and we're playing with fucking podcasters right now. We're not.
We're done with the 60s, bro.
What's the fact first, Justin?
With it being the 17th of November. With it being the 17th of November at the time of recording this, 1956. Syracuse fullback Jim Brown scores an NCAA record 43 points in a game against Colgate.
That is crazy.
There were just not a lot of good stats on this one. I mean, 1940, Green Bay Packers become the first NFL team to travel by plane. St. Louis Browns officially become the Baltimore Baseball Club. Like that, this is just. I mean, the top one on here is 1884. Police arrest boxer John L. Sullivan in the second round of a match for being cruel.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Like, it's not great. I mean, let's see here. What else we got?
What Islam did to JDM was cruel. That was cruel, unusual punishment.
There's a lot here. Golden State Warriors. Purvis Short scores career high 59 points, though the team loses to the New Jersey Nets 124 to 110.
Got Purvis Short, 20 point per game guy, multiple years. Fraud though.
Fraud though. 1985, 35th NASCAR Sprint Cup. Darrell Waltrip wins. Like, it's not like today is just no.
Dude, I know Waltrip. He was in Cars. He was one of the car. He won the Piston Cup. Waltrip. I think
his what in this cup?
He won the Piston Cup. I'm pretty sure his son won a Piston Cup too.
I talk to children.
I would like to state for the record that Cars is the greatest film ever created. It is better than The Godfather.
We're not.
It is better than The Godfather. It is better than any of your favorite movies.
Cars is not the best Disney Pixar movie, but we can get into that later.
That is not true.
With that, guys, this is another episode of the basketball podcast. We'll be back soon with hopefully some special guests with our football predictions. So with that, that's We Don't Know Ball. We just taught you we don't know ball. We'll see y'all later.
It's better than Cars.
Tap.